Welcome to this short video that is introducing Task 2 from the Cadenza Challenge 2023. Cadenza is all about trying to improve music for people who have got a hearing loss. So we're talking here about audio quality, the quality of reproduction, rather than about anything to do with preference for the kind of music you want. And we all know that music can sound very different. You know, if we listen to it over our mobile phone or go and listen to it on a good quality stereo, we have the same music in both cases, but the quality of the reproduction is very different. And what we want to try and do is make the reproduction of sound for people with a hearing loss as best as it can be, whether that's coming over loudspeakers or through a hearing aid. Now, task 2 is looking at a really common listening scenario, which is listening in a car. So here, someone is actually listening through the loudspeakers within a car, and they've also got their hearing aids on. And what you're looking at here is you're looking at the baseline system, our current draft schematic. So we're going to give you databases of music, which we'll obviously select tracks on, and that goes into the car stereo, or what the industry calls the car infotainment system. And this is the block which is labeled enhancement that we want you to play with and change. Once you've got the signals processed in your car stereo, it's then reproduced by loudspeakers in the car, and that's where this car acoustic simulation comes in. But there's also going to be noise added, because a car is not a silent place, so you're listening to music in the presence of noise. And in fact, kind of the key of this task, to think about it, is it's how do you process music from the car stereo to allow for the noise that is present in the car, but also to allow for the hearing aid that the person is also using. So after we have noise added and we have the simulated car, we then do have a hearing aid, which we provide with you as well. This block here under evaluation we're providing, you're not actually changing. And that hearing aid is be a fairly standard one which does things like dynamic range compression to try and make things audible and better than it would be without. And then from the hearing aid it goes through to the listener. Now, when we look at the situation, if we've got a car stereo, it has access to certain things about what the car is doing, or could have, and one of the most obvious things is car speed. And the reason the car speed is useful is you can estimate what the noise will be. That doesn't give you the fine detail. You don't know exactly the noise fingerprint, so you can't exactly cancel things in a sort of active noise control sense. But you can certainly work on the power spectrum and know roughly the balance of where the noise will lie in the frequency response. So we provide that with you as well. And also, because we're talking about hearing loss, we also give you the listener characteristics in terms of the audiogram. So we talk about people having a hearing loss, but actually hearing loss is really diverse. So you need to know the hearing abilities of each individual so you can then personalize the listening experience for it. So your task here is to try and make the output of the car stereo as best as it can be, allowing for the hearing aid, allowing for the car noise that is added, and potentially a bit for the car acoustic as well. And we're evaluating that in two ways in the challenge. We're going to use an objective measure called HAQI, Hearing Aid Audio Quality Index, which will compare the signals coming out of the hearing aid, the audio signals, with the clean music. And that will do a comparison there, and it's the objective metric we will use. But we also have a listening panel. So we will be sending samples also out to a listening panel who will sit there and rate the audio quality of the different samples. So I hope that gives you a sense of what this challenge is all about. The website cadenzacchallenge.org is up and running. We've got some details to add there, but you'll get a real sense of what's going on. And this challenge will launch on the 1st of March 2023. I hope you can participate, or maybe you know someone who can, and you can spread the word.